let's talk about this for a minute.
Yeah.
We review movies and we review TV shows, and we do this every episode. We started a lot of movies, classic movies, some of the best military movies ever. And then we went and did Band of Brothers, one of the best military, TV shows ever. We were trying to find out what else to do. It seemed like we've been reviewing the Terminal List forever. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like we've been reviewing the Terminal List forever. And while we were reviewing the Terminal List, man, like it's a movie about to come out called Devotion. I saw the trailer for that. We got to watch that. All Quiet on the Western Front just came out. We got to watch that. It's just been so many movies that came out about the military that we got to watch.
Yeah, man.
But with
I'm excited about
further, yeah, man. Like for real, like it's been a lot, man. But with no further ado, man, it is time to review Purple Hearts, the movie. Right. And I know y'all been waiting on Purple Hearts. Just for some clarity, I tried to do a drum roll. For some reason, the drum roll thing ain't worked. So I was just sitting here trying to figure out what the fuck to do. Just so y'all know what's going on. So let me give some basics, right? So this how we gonna do this, right? I'm gonna start off with the basic information about the movie, and I'm gonna give a real brief synopsis of the plot, and then we just gonna get into it.
Yeah.
The movie is directed by Elizabeth Allen Rosenbaum, starring Sofia Carson as Cassie Salazar and Nicholas Galitzine as Luke. The movie is about a man and a woman, a young man and a young woman, who are both placed in these specific scenarios that create a conflict to where they need to get. Let me just kind of. So the girl, she got diabetes. The lady got diabetes, and the dude is in money trouble with this gangster that I'm gonna get into a whole lot soon, right? So they both got completely different ideologies about the military, America, and a whole bunch of stuff like that. But they make a decision to get married because being married to give them BAH and family separation pay. So they make a decision to do a fraudulent marriage. And it's supposed to only last a year. He's supposed to go away for deployment, come home, and then they gonna get divorced because he would have made however much money he needed to make to pay off the gangster. And I guess she would have had enough insulin, whatever she needed or whatever. And I'll probably butcher that as much as I could.
Yeah.
I probably butchered that up as much as I could. But that's pretty much the movie. Man, woman, BAH fraud for a year. Let's get this done. Come home, get divorced. That was the plan. So what's up, Damon?
So this movie. First of all, I start off by saying the movie is it's fraud, but it's the most hard. It's the most you really can't even be mad at them though. You know what I mean? They committed fraud and blah 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 and all that stuff in the movie. You think, man, that's you could be thinking, man, that's kind of jacked up. Because I know people who didn't tried this or did it or talked about it or whatever. So I kind of relate to it a little bit. But
yeah. You remember when the Navy started cracking down on the military?
Bro,
it's you can't get paid
let me tell you
for
this,
the city.
It's a story. I don't think I shared this story before. Bro. I was probably, it had to be 99, 2000, bro, first command. And I was like, dude, I was on the ropes, man. These guys was trying to do this stuff, man. And they was going out, contracts. I'm talking, all you gotta do is just go to the store and get an application. Fill the freaking application now, blah, 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 all this stuff, right? And dude, I had went so far with this application.
An application for what?
The application for owning a home in San Francisco.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So I did all the stuff for San Francisco, bro, to get San Francisco BAH, which is the highest in the motherfucking Navy at the time.
Yeah.
And I had went so far that I had went into into the housing place, the submit the paperwork. No, PSD, to submit the paperwork. Right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you what got me, bro. Because I wasn't
What happened?
solo. You know what I mean? This is like a plan to be some guys went with it, tried, or whatever the case may be, right? So and this is one of the first stories that I'm telling like this, man. So don't crucify me out there, guys. So I'm sitting to the side. I'm like, got my number.
Yeah.
But my boy went before me. He's like right there. And the lady talking with him. That conversation, she was asking questions, bro.
Yeah.
She
They get
asked him
into it.
questions, bro. And I got up out of there, man. Because I knew I couldn't answer the question. He couldn't answer the questions. So I know
Yeah.
I couldn't answer those questions. And I'm young and I don't know what the hell going on. I couldn't answer them questions. So, man, I got up out of there, man. But that was at a time, though, that everybody was trying to do this shit, man. It was New York, I think New
Yeah.
York and San
New York,
Fran.
yeah.
Them were the
Remember
spots
and they
people was
had to
trying to
crack
get.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to crack down. Like, yo, you only get paid for your duty
Duty
station. Like,
stations, yeah.
can't get because your spouse live out.
load,
So
yeah.
yeah, and I can't lie, man. I remember having a conversation. So I had a conversation with a young lady, and we knew each other. You know, we kind of grew up together, and I remember talking to my mom. You know, following our conversation, I'm like, yo, mom, what would you think? I'm like, you know, the military, they give like extra money, you know, to people that's married, and you know, you talking to your mom, you trying to like, you know, like make sense out of it. Like, see if your mom, you know, can help you make sense out of it, right? So I'm like, they give extra money to people that's married. So like, you know, what if what would you think if I just got married or whatever? Like, just, you know, out of nowhere, like soon, you know? She's like, you know, is it like, is it like out of love? And I'm like,
Killed the whole
yeah.
thing right there.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, I'm like, yeah. Then I'm like, I can't lie to them. I'm like, well, I don't even know if she remember the conversation. But I'm like, well, nah. Just I'm like, it's just because the military, you know. And I was like, I get divorced when I fall in love or whatever, right? And then remarry. And my mom was like, yo, if I wouldn't play around with marriage if it's not like out of love. You know what I'm saying? And then I never thought about that again.
Yeah.
I never
Sometimes what
thought.
you
So
need to
we
do,
both
man.
got,
Sometimes you need to do that,
yeah,
man.
we both got, you know, we both got our own confession stories,
Yeah, I
man.
got a
But that's why
confession
we
out of
do
that. So
this,
now let's
man.
get back into the movie, man. Okay. So it was a lot going on in this movie, man. It first came on.
Yeah.
We by the two little incidents, you know, girl she had diabetes, and the other guy, you know, needed that money for the guy that was trying to get him or whatever.
Yeah.
Started out, man. She big feminist, big time feminist, right? So she was more like couldn't stand it. You can tell Rip she couldn't really stand the Marines from her first time. See, then she found out that one of her person she used to babysit joined the Marines. So that was kind of, I think,
Yeah.
loosen her up maybe a little bit. Now she kind of got to like Marines a little bit because her boy, you know, that
Frankie.
Frankie, yeah, Frankie, you know,
Yeah.
joined the Marines. So that's when he first met her at. That when he first saw her, and it seemed like, bro, it was attraction when they first met. But that shit went away real soon, man. 'Cause you always got the one guys in the group that fuck it up for everybody, and he fucked it up for everybody in the group.
So they met at the bar that she could, because
Yeah.
They met she worked at a bar and she sang at the bar, right?
Yeah.
And they met at the bar that she works and sings at, right?
Yeah.
She's a bartender. So the Marines came in and they knew then, like the ladies at the bar, they kind of knew the Marines was about to come in and cause some ruckus, right? And the thing with them was they were going on deployment.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
They were in a couple weeks, but they were leaving the next day to start getting ready for it or something, right? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we caught back up.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So, like you said, she was a singer too, so she used to sing in there all the time too. But you know, at that same episode, same time, she went to the car. That's when we kind of found out about her running out of insulin and all this type of stuff.
Yeah,
in the
because she
car.
almost
So
passed out.
it was becoming an issue. Then she didn't have the money and all this stuff. So, how she got like the whole thing with her getting with the guy was when they was in there. And like I said, I thought they had a kind of attraction to each other when they first met. But one of the Marines said some old foul shit about, you know, somebody touching her ass or something, your cheeks or some crazy shit like that. So she got mad about that and fucked it all up. It's probably in her mind, she thinking that's just what a typical Marine will say type shit, right? So another big thing in the episode, she went there and couldn't get her insulin. And I don't know, this kind of threw me off a little bit too. I don't know if this threw you off in the show where she was standing there.
Why you keep calling it a show, man?
Huh?
Why are you calling it a show?
The movie, my
Episode.
bad.
We so used to watching shows.
I know, the movie.
We've been watching shows.
Threw me off a little bit in the movie, man, where she was standing up there to get her insulin and she ain't had the money. And her mom said, get your insulin, and gave her money.
Yeah.
And I didn't get why she unwalled the money and it wasn't enough to get to the insulin, man. Like that threw me off. Like, why her mom was saying, yeah, go ahead and get this, and I just pay my stuff with my credit card. And but when she gave it to it, it wasn't enough. What the fuck? It wasn't enough money. So she still didn't get no insulin when she was there. She didn't get anything.
Yeah.
So now it's the issue. But on another part of the movie, she was about to pass out and she saw what caught her eye was a Marine patch or some shit.
Remember when she was in a bar initially, the dude was like, yo, you should get with me. Remember the girl told her, the dude said, you should get with me because you get free. He told the other girl, you should get with me because you get free healthcare.
Yeah. So that was a thought process about it. Then she saw the Marine sign and that kind of made her think, oh shit, let me go ask my boy. So she tried to go ask Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie wasn't doing that.
Frank said, nah, man, I got a girl. I don't know how she'll like that, blah, 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 blah.
Mom Dukes wasn't going to let Frankie do that shit. Mom Dukes was in the crib not letting Frankie do that
and
shit.
And then at the first, old boy came back and he overheard him talking. He came in and tried to throw his little 2 cents on her and she got in his ass.
Yeah.
She was getting in his ass the whole movie though, kind of, right?
Yeah.
So she got him in there like, worry about yourself pretty much shit, right? But his dad was and I understand that part. His dad was a military police. They made that military police seem like they was gods and that, right? Oh, we gonna
talk about that.
It don't matter. I turn whoever in.
We gonna talk about that. Like, we just gonna talk. Both of us. Talk
go ahead, bro.
It's like, we ain't gotta like separate it. But like, they made an agreement, right? So we get to where, Cassie and Luke, they, Frankie don't want to do it with Cassie, so Luke come up to her because he get pressed by the duty owed money, right? So now he get pressed by this duty owed money, and the movie picked the most ungangster resembling dude in the world to play like this gangster, and he pressing a Marine, like, and that was just that. I'm gonna talk more about that later. But so he get pressed by this dude that he owed his money to, right? 15 grand.
Yeah.
So now he got to get money. So all this whole him having reservations about fraud and all that, it's out the window. He need this money because the dude threatens his family. Yeah. So he meet up with Cassie. They make an agreement, right? And that's like, all right, let's get married, but we really got to play this out. So we got to do like emails. We got to do video calls. We got to like actually like hang out together tonight, the night before deployment. And like, if I kiss you, we got to kiss and, all this. And the whole time they was alluding to this strained relationship that he had with his dad that we didn't know nothing about. I ain't really understand it.
And it got real touchy, right? I mean, it got real. Go ahead. It got real.
Yeah. So I'm like, what's going on? You saw her, the dress she put on for the wedding?
Yeah.
What you thought about that, man?
After he made a change?
Yeah.
Or before?
After he made a change.
Yeah, I mean, she looked all right, but I don't think it was for a wedding, though.
Yeah, and it looked like it was for like beach day because you can see right through it. Yeah, it was crazy. So but then we find out why she got a disposition outside of the fact that she is like super liberal and all of that. Yeah. She got like a disposition for Marines because her mom dated some bad dudes from the base or whatever. It sounds like us. And then we find out he a 3rd generation Marine, right? His grandpa was in World War II. His dad got a Purple Heart, something like that.
Yeah.
So after they make the agreement, they get married and, all of this stuff happens. And a part of what they do then is they tell each other their backstories on deployment, right? So he's talking about how he grew up. She's talking about how she grew up. So they starting to learn about each other. Now, well, we didn't get to the fact that before he left for deployment, they slept together the first night. Like, because she asked him, was he scared? He said he was scared. And then they slept together the first night. And I was looking at Angelina, I'm like, 2 young people, a free bed, a room.
Yeah.
Like, what you think gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like,
man, woman, last night.
Yeah. We are animals inside. So they slept together, right? So then he goes on deployment and they start telling each other their backstories. Now, what I was thinking was happening was that they were falling for each other,
Yeah.
like through listening to each other backstories. Before that, I also wanted to. She was like super uptight, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was telling her, like, why is she so uptight? Like when they grabbed her up so she could like kiss him on on a bus, she was like acting like so uptight. But so I'm thinking they falling in love with each other. And then his boy Frankie was helping him out.
Yeah.
Frankie kept like really like selling this because they had to sell this relationship, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But another question I got for Marines is like, is it like when they go in those places in those areas, is it no privacy during the video chat? Like I would not want to be video chatting with my girl and like my whole unit is like right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? That was crazy, right?
For the youngsters anyway. I want to know if they, as you get higher in rank, they get their own spot? But yeah, that was in front of everybody, bro. Like they no privacy, that shit. Yeah.
I probably would be more comfortable higher in rank video chatting with my girl than a youngster, like in my 20s.
That's true.
Like video chatting with my girl in my 20s, you know, might be fun. Like, but you know, you video chatting with your wife, man.
What's going on? What you got on?
35, 40. You 30. Y'all talk about the kids and like this, that. Like, your friends will probably leave the room. You know what I mean? But things started to get worse, right? People started dying. Like, as they're video chatting each other, getting to know each other and doing all that stuff. On his side of the story, and he's paying the duty owes and stuff like that. But on his side of the story, things getting worse.
Yeah.
You know, they losing people. You know, you start to see the mood changing and stuff. And for her, things are getting better.
Mm-hmm.
She getting opportunities with music, performing. I told Angelina, I'm like, man, I don't really seem like she a diabetic no more. Like, I ain't even hearing nothing about this for a while.
Well, she did. You know,
But,
they
like,
showed the time when she first went in that she was getting a little regular, you know, insulin now, you know, at the military hospital. So she's good now.
I think I missed some of that. This was one of those movies where I looked down on my phone, you know, a couple times or whatever. But she got prom time at a music fest. So it's like she blowing up fast. She's back at the old job where they used to cut her off. Now she performing. And then while all this good stuff happening to her, Luke, he gets hurt, right?
Yeah, I thought that was it because I would. So I seen a little bit of the advertising of the show, you know, like you see through trailers and things like that, man. But
the advertising, the advertising
of the show trailers, man.
Think about the Veterans Day deals, man.
Yeah.
Limited menu, man.
Advertisement on me. On the show, bro. So cut that. You had to cut that part, man.
That ain't getting cut, man.
Yeah.
That's
so on the trailers, and I thought he was gonna die. I thought someone was gonna die or whatever. That was what I was thinking the whole time. And then I was thinking like how she gonna explain how she gonna get that money because he died. Blah blah. I thought that's how it was gonna work.
Yeah.
But he lived. He got a leg injury. Came back. A pretty gruesome leg injury. And then that's when the shit hit the fan because he told her before she left, if anything happened to me, wrote the numbers down, called my brother.
Yeah.
But we failed to something happened. They called her. She looking for the number. She couldn't find a number. So she looked it up on her phone. And and he failed to tell her that his brother and dad had the same number. I mean, had the same name.
Yeah. Name. Yeah.
So she ended up going to the dad house and pretty much dad straight shooter. She was giving up all that information, bro.
Yeah.
So he got all the information. He didn't even know, and with this being said on how disconnected they was, the dad didn't even know he joined the military at all.
Dad ain't even know he was a Marine.
Didn't even know he was
all
a Marine.
the dad knew was that he messed something up, right?
Yeah, all dad, he was a jackass, effing things up all the time. So first time she talked to him, he was just like, how much he owe you? He's all negative stuff. So everything was negative till he found out he was a Marine. Then his whole attitude then started changing. Well, who are you? I'm his wife. And then Eric, come on in. So things start changing a little bit once that happened. But
so enter my first critique. What you about to say?
I'm about to say one thing though about soon. It seemed like the whole time though he was skeptical of the marriage.
Yeah,
the movie made you think he was skeptical of the whole marriage the whole time. Go ahead.
Yeah. So enter my first critique. I started to know the exact words to the script. I started to say exactly what they were gonna say. I don't like that. I don't like
Yeah.
knowing exactly. I mean, the first half of the movie, well, the whole movie, I could predict. Like I knew everything that was kind of gonna happen. Like
Yeah.
damn near the whole movie,
Yeah.
right? But I started to say, like when she was at the door with the dad, I was saying what they were gonna say before they said it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh shit, this ain't kosher. Like I shouldn't know exactly,
The lines.
what they're gonna say. Now, my second critique is here. And I wrote it, I'll read what I wrote. I said, trying to convince his dad to me was like unbelievable. Like it was unbelievable to me, like they had to stay married. Just like to like keep the lie going for his dad.
Yeah.
Like if we get divorced now, my dad's gonna know this was all fake. Like
Yeah.
I ain't understand that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
She
saying?
didn't understand it either. She was ready to get her ass divorced. And that's
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
only thing that was kind of for me though, man. Like doing all the video chats and stuff, it made it seem like they was getting closer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
then
know.
time he gets back, it was just back to normal. Let's get, of course, he was
Yeah.
trying to convince, right, her to you keep married because of dad, but she was like, no, this was not the plan. This
Yeah.
was not the blah blah. And I'm thinking when they getting
It
closer.
seemed like
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it
So
seemed
yeah,
like it. So and that was probably my other critique too, like at that point, because it was like y'all were starting to build a story like they were falling for each
yeah,
other, and then they just was like again, like totally against each other,
yeah.
which was weird.
And I
Then she found
go ahead.
what's up?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say then she found out Frankie died.
Yeah, that was hard on her right there when she found out Frankie died. That was a big deal for her. And then when she started they started talking to each other. Of course, that conversation came up. Oh, you didn't know Frankie had died, and she kind of stormed out, went to the funeral, and did all them good things right there, man. But I think after that, two things happened that kind of changed the movie a little bit between them two. Because up until this point, she's still talking about getting divorced and shit. She wasn't about it. Two things happened.
Yeah.
One, he kind of admitted to like you know his leg was all jacked up, and he kind of had a moment there when she kind of like took him a bath or whatever, right? That was a little bit of a moment right there. The
Hmm.
second moment was when she kind of passed out
Yeah.
in the house, and when she kind of passed out, he kind of got her, kind of helped her out and stuff. And I guess and you could tell she never had that before. She never had
Yeah.
a man or whoever to like step in like that to help her and do things like that. I think that was a moment in there. But then as I'm thinking now, most definitely that they gonna stay married and be done with. Cause that whole thing I'm thinking at the end they gonna stay married. That was what I was thinking anyway.
Hmm.
But then the moment with when the boy went to the house, that kind of killed everything again. Then when he whooped his
Yeah.
ass and whooped his ass. Found out he went to the house.
Yeah.
Then he whooped his ass, and then I knew that was with South. Then
Yeah, so yeah, so I got some notes on this. I didn't believe that dude, like the gangster dude, like whoever he was. I ain't believe him at all. I ain't believe that part of the storyline. I ain't believe that he would do that to him. To me, that was totally unbelievable. It was totally unrealistic. It didn't make any sense to me at all. Like you was talking about earlier with his dad being a military cop, like the way they treated his dad, that didn't make sense to me at all. I was lost.
yeah,
Like I'm like, nah, this was confusing. That relationship was confusing. Like, and then it's like, yo, the dude, like the way he was trying to blackmail him, I just can't see him blackmailing him off that. Like to me, that was unbelievable.
yeah,
Like this just a random dude saying he can't even get on the base. Like, so he calling somebody and saying this, and then y'all just believing it.
yeah.
Like,
Automatic Captain Mass, automatically done.
bro,
Mhm.
like I just did not understand that, man. I'm glad he turned up on the dude, man. I'm glad he wound up turning up on
Yeah,
dude. Like I was like, well, when is he gonna beat this dude's ass,
yeah.
man?
I know, right?
And he went out there with a cane and beat that dude
yeah,
ass. Like I'm like, yo, when is he gonna?
yeah,
I got dude is the corniest dude in the world. That's what I wrote in there. He the corniest dude in the world. Like he even paid the dude money. He paid the dude money and like, yo, this everything I owe you. We done.
yeah.
And then the dude still,
Went snitched him out.
he's still, yeah.
Yeah,
And it's funny because after the dude snitched him out, this part pissed me off about the movie and the script. Because after the dude, snitched. Now, mind you, this dude a gangster, and well, I'll get into this later. But like after he paid this dude, right, and the dude went and snitched him out. when he was talking to her, Cassie, in the house, he was like, I paid him, it's done. I got mad. I'm like, no, it's not done. It's like literally not done. Like she mad at you right now because he did something after you paid him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
Your
saying?
mom will understand, right? Because you're that what he fucked up too, though, bro. He said your mom will understand because he was helping with the medical thing, her medical stuff. That's not how this works, though, bro. Like you can't. That's not a time to even say that line. You need to. It was not a time. Like,
and then it's like, yo, how bad of a guy you gotta be to get a real divorce from a fake marriage? like she was done with his ass. Like, yo, we done, man. And then another thing with the gangsters, like why? I don't understand why people going after in-laws, man. Like, you don't even know if the wife got a good relationship with her mom. Like, that ain't make no sense at all.
Yeah,
man.
that was kind of.
Yeah, that ain't make no sense. I got not all of it down here, and I forgot what I wrote not all of it for. It's something she said, though, that I don't think made no sense. But then I got how's do the gangster and the snitch? Jonathan DeLuca, right? Then I said the military just can't take his word.
Yeah.
Where is James Reese when you need him? You know what I'm saying? I wrote that down, like, where the hell is James Reese when you need him, man? This military, these people, and we found out they was getting BAH, family step, you know, they was getting them. But and it was all off the words of this dude, you know? And then I still don't, and then he got up to confess to get her out of trouble. That was unbelievable. I don't think that would have happened. If they felt like they was going to motion for her to go to court and they couldn't trust him because he was already doing BAH fraud, like him just standing up saying that she ain't had nothing to do with it. I mean, I can't see which lawyer would have believed that.
Yeah.
She made it to the Hollywood Bowl. It was dope. She made it to, did you notice, like, the car she hopped in after she got off that beautiful stage, man?
Right. That was a ride, man. The whole time that was her little ride, man.
Yeah, bro. And to me, that was one of the most believable parts of the movie.
Yeah, that was it, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, hopping off that stage and hopping in that car.
Yeah. Everybody cheering for you. Everybody like, yeah. You go hop in that thing. Like, ooh.
Yeah. And there's a lot of artists out here that not really getting no checks.
Yeah.
I got Cassie got a deal because she got a record deal. We found that out because she hopped in the car. So pretty much the day that he was going to get like locked up, so he got found guilty for BAH fraud, which me and Angeline were both wondering why they ain't try to ride it out, right? For the sake of the movie, right? I'm not speaking as like Senior Chief McCullough or nothing, but for the sake of the movie, we like, yo, how come they just not saying like, yo, like we could prove to y'all like that we are a couple and we love each other.
I know why. All I know. I think I know why. He finally like really, really fell for her, right? And he did not want the guy to send her not out in town on Cassie. He would have fucked up her music deal up or anything he could have did, something like that. I think that's why. That's why he stood up and said what he said. You know, he forced her to do this or whatever he said. You know, I think he didn't want that to happen to her.
Yeah, he didn't want nothing to happen. So she got the opportunity of her lifetime while he was about to do 6 months, right? Yeah. Dishonorable discharge, 6 months, whatever. She left the concert. She drove as fast as she can to get over to him. They got the whole, when you run, I want to run with you. When you laugh, I want to cry. Yeah, all that bullshit. And then he said, I love you, Cassie Salazar. And like, this is every other romantic movie, right?
Yeah.
Did you see how my man scooped him up after that? Like, it's like, did you notice how my man was like, yeah, like he ain't say that. And the dude, like, he grabbed him a little bit by the arm, like, yo, it's time to go, man. Like,
oh yeah.
Did you notice that?
I ain't noticed it though, but yeah, he did.
Oh boy, scooped him right up, man. Like, yo,
time to get up out of here, babe.
Come on, man. Like, you gotta go. And then they showed a little bit more. I'm glad his legs are good. Yeah. And my last thought about it was that the dog should get a supporting actress award.
Yeah,
that dog started killing.
Dog started killing, man. Dog was in there. And if you thinking about the dog, they let you know when we Dog did do a good job, dog.
The dog did good, man.
Dog did
good.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Peaches. My wife said the dog name was Peaches.
It was Peaches. Peaches.
Yeah, I probably was on my phone at that part, so I remember.
So I mean, overall, man, it was one of those movies that I when I got done with the movie, I said, man, I should have watched this with Ella. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I said.
You didn't?
Huh?
You didn't?
No, I didn't watch it with Ella. I said I should have.
You watched that? Yeah, you watched that Dolo?
Yeah.
Oh man,
watching Dolo, man.
You watched that? Did you have some hot cocoa?
Uh-huh.
You had like some hot cocoa while you was watching it. He's a marshmallow.
that is the first thing that came to my mind because Ella,
For sure,
Hallmark movies, all the old living, that's right up Ella alley.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the first thing I thought about. The whole movie, like you said, there was some parts in there, man. Like I think the dad stood. I mean, the gangsters, the gangster guy, like you said. I mean, I guess they were trying to portray the gangster as into like this was my. I thought the whole time they was trying to portray him like they grew up together, but they really didn't grow up together. So they could have picked another guy for that role if they. I thought they were trying to pick when they grew up together. So, but it was a love story. What I say is though, man, if you're in a relationship and you guys love those lovey-dovey movies type that and how the story came together and ended, it'll be a pretty good movie to go out and see. I'm not saying don't go out and see it, but there's some parts in there, especially us being military, we look at like, I don't know that it happened like that. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. But other than that, man, overall, man, I probably give it about a 7 out of 10. Or we do out of 5, so probably like a 3 out of 5 on it. It was okay show. Movie.
Yeah, I give it somewhere between 2.5 to a 3.
Yeah.
Somewhere there. Yeah. It was a lot of parts about the script. The second half of the script, everything was all. To me, the second half of the movie, everything was all over the place. Like after he got hurt and came back,
because that's the stuff we start relating to more too, though. You know what I mean? You can start relating to some of the stuff that was happening because now the dad involved now, and the dad still trying to play military police after he retired. That type of stuff didn't feel right with me. At all. They was talking like he'll still get you. He'll still.
Yeah, he ain't about to do all that.
He said that shit. I'm done.
Yeah, that ain't about to happen, dog. Yeah. Like, yo, chill out, man.